So, sorry this video is a bit late. I've been kind of busy lately and, well, lazy. But I couldn't help but talk about a game that I previously knew nothing about and couldn't stop talking about one more time. Though, honestly, I hope that this will be one of the last videos I do on this subject. I still have one more planned, but hopefully after this I can move on beyond just speculating about Smash.
Even though they're the only successful things on this channel.
I hope to broaden it a bit. Still this style of video, but new subject matters. But you're not worried about that. Let's get into the fun, good stuff. So, where should we start? Oh, how about, my old predictions video. I guess I should reevaluate that now, shouldn't I? Now, to my defense, I was predicting a game I knew nothing about. Most of it was written before that game was even announced, so you don't care. Let me redo and touch that up a little bit, shall I? Okay, so let's start with Shantae. Shantae was generally meant as just a broad indie rep, but based on how things are now, I don't think we'll see one of those, mainly just due to Japan just not really caring about indies as a whole. But I mean, come on, look at her. She's so cute. Dragonborn was mainly my attempt at just a random, out-of-nowhere third-party title, and I still think he has a pretty decent shot, primarily as a Bethesda rep, that they've had very good relationships recently, but maybe he's more likely as a post-launch DLC, kind of like Cloud and Bayonetta. Speaking of which, I'd like to shift my philosophy of Rex and Pyra and Springman more to guaranteed DLC characters.
Provided they don't show up as assist trophies, and frankly that would destroy me.
My reason being that their games debuted a little too late, and the actual project plan for Smash was written up around 2015, so they might not have had the full data on those games. Additionally, the producer of ARMS talked about how it might be too early for Smash, and Pyra's voice actress has said that she hasn't received any sort of calls or anything like that. Now, that end, it could just be, maybe reusing voice clips, or stuff might have already been recorded in a different way. It's difficult to say, but I'm leaning towards their chances being very slim. However, I still think the points in the original video still stand, in that we're very likely to see these two characters coming in, especially because Sakurai loves Xenoblade 2 so much. As for Decidueye, I think he still has a overall pretty decent chance to appear in the base game, but has pretty much non-existent chances for a DLC representation. Primarily because Generation 8 will be out around that year, and they probably wouldn't want to promote a game that came out years ago as opposed to the new hotness. I should also mention that there are a couple more Gen 7 Pokemon that have a sort of heated competition with Decidueye, mainly Mimikyu and Duskform Lycanroc, or just Lycanroc in general, primarily because these ones have very evident roles in the anime, and Decidueye himself really doesn't. He's only had a couple small scenes, and Ash has kind of refused to evolve his Rowlet, so it's difficult to really say. Again, though, with Generation 8 Pokemon, I think that is a very likely DLC choice, because that'll probably be a big game, and it just makes plenty of sense, honestly. Oh, I also should mention, I think it's actually pretty possible that Zeraora, or whatever this one's called, might be a possible Echo Fighter for Lucario. That seems to make sense. Now, as far as actual newcomers go, I think at minimum we'll see 3 newcomers, and at maximum we'll see 5, not counting Echo Fighters, but there'll probably be a couple more. I say this because 3 would allow them to semi-regularly reveal new characters, and after all, Nintendo knows how much of a buzz new Smash characters bring, so sprinkling them throughout the time period between now and release makes a lot of sense. They'll probably reveal 1 in a Smash Bros. Direct, which will show up here. 1 revealed in the general direct to drum up attention, and 1 revealed near launch to celebrate the game coming out. If there are 5, you could probably slap 1 kind of in the middle there, probably revealed in a similar way to how Robin and Lucina were in previously Smash 4, and maybe 1 saved for the actual release, a secret character. Both of these are kind of conservative on the estimates, but they specifically mention there won't be many newcomers, so I'd say that we should keep that number low. As for which characters those will be, well, I think we can finally answer the question that I posed in the title. What does Smash Bros. Ultimate mean? I think this game will be heavily featured around long-time requested characters finally making it into the game, as a sort of fan service to end all fan service. This makes sense, as Nintendo has clearly become much more open to listening to fans' feedback. We've already seen that with this game with Ridley and the game's moniker, "Everyone is here." It fits perfectly. And, would you look at that? Look what just finished running right when this game started development. Hey, look, it's something that people can find some data on what fans would want. Oh, hey, look at that! Isn't that just convenient? With all that being said, I should mention that one of the characters has potentially been leaked, so I'll let you skip ahead to avoid a potential spoiler. Alright? Okay, we good? Alright. So Simon Belmont was leaked alongside Ridley by a decently credible leaker that has gotten a number of fighting game related stuff correct, notably Soul Calibur and a couple other Namco developed games. And, well, Simon just makes a lot of sense for, well, so many reasons. I can't even begin. He's an icon of the NES like Mega Man. He's the origin of a series that's still ongoing, and his series has had a recent push. Snake is back, and Konami has let them use Bomberman, so it would make sense to continue this trend. He's just so unique and perfect fit for Smash, and you fit right in. I really hope this is real. Outside of that, some of my more proper speculation comes in the form of King K. Rool and Geno. King K. Rool is extremely popular. And he's topped numerous fan-made polls. Honestly, the only reason I can think that he hasn't been in already is because Nintendo might not want to use a character that Rare made, and it may be seen as insulting to Retro Studios since they've always wanted to do something new with the series and haven't used a lot of the older characters and stuff like that. It's honestly the only reason I can think of. I mean, this fat crocodile's popularity seems to eclipse the entire planet sometimes. Look, I'm just saying, King K. Rool 2020, it can do it. So there must be some good reason he hasn't shown up yet, but I think that's past now. K. Rool and Ridley have always been seen as kind of a package deal, and Rids has finally hit the big time, so I think it's clear that King K. Rool can cream the competition. That joke only works when I'm writing it. For Geno, I actually have a section in a video that actually still holds up. It's clear that Sakurai is more cool with Square because, Cloud, and Sakurai said he wanted him in the game, so that's all the real reason you need to believe that it's a possibility. And if he can get through to Konami, I think he might finally be able to hashtag free Geno. If you're not really sold on the character, then just remember he's an original character from Mario RPG. And if something like that gets popular, then, well, maybe Paper Mario might be a little fire sparking in that. Maybe a good sign there. As for our last few characters, I think we have a few possibilities, but I'm leaning towards characters that are Japan-focused picks. The last two characters we talked about are popular everywhere, but Ridley is really high in the West, and not so much in Japan. It's really difficult to find hard data on characters that Japan really wants, but it seems Bandana D and Ashley are really popular in Japan.
Japan likes cute things.
Now, I don't know the first thing about Ashley, and I discussed Bandana D here, but to reiterate, I actually think our little bandana boy is probably the most likely newcomer at this point. As for that Smash Bros. Direct I keep talking about, Smash 4 had 3 directs dedicated to itself, so I'd be absolutely shocked if this one didn't get at least one before release. What was that? What, E3 was already a Smash Bros. Direct? Well, yeah, it kind of was. No offense. While they showed an absolutely massive amount of Smash there's still a lot left to cover. For one thing, the entire showcase barely showed so much as a hint of alternate modes. The only example I can see is this part in Ridley's trailer that clearly shows stamina mode, and maybe this picture of Snake. People have been debating what stage this takes place on, and it's been difficult to find if it actually is Gara Plains. Regardless, we know that there will be at least some sort of new adventure mode or single-player content in general. I doubt it'll be a full-fledged Subspace Emissary mode, but it'll probably be bigger than anything Smash 4 had. Remember though that Smash 4 actually did have a pretty good amount of single-player content, it's just that it was split into 2 separate games, and the actual adventure-y part of the Wii U version was locked behind beating the final boss.
You forgot about Master Fortress, didn't you?
Seriously though, this shows that they're not against creating an adventure-style mode, and it seems that the Smash Run enemies can be easily ported over to a mainline console. And there's a lot outside of them that can be used. We also know that the starting roster is the 64 cast, or at least that same size, and the process is streamlined, moving away from Smash 4's unbelievably complex unlock system, such as playing 10 matches, or playing 20 matches, or playing 30 matches, or,
This seems pretty line to me.
I figure that means that we'll have some sort of new mode for unlocking characters, kind of like how Subspace was used to unlock the majority of Brawl's cast. Alternatively, it could just mean you unlock multiple fighters at once, or you unlock them even quicker, or something like that. But that's not fun to speculate about, so I'm going to assume there's another mode. This has been going for a while, so I'll wrap it up here. Each Smash game has done a great job of showing what Nintendo has been all about at the time of their release, both in their characters, their content, and most importantly, their design philosophy. 64 was from a time of breaking new grounds for games as a whole, so it fits that this is where the series would start. Melee was during an odd time in Nintendo's history, and while it was loved at the time it's released, it didn't truly get its recognition until long after its time, much like a lot of the GameCube. Brawl pushed the idea that anyone could play, making it more focused on the party aspect, while still trying to satisfy fans, though it drifted in this regard. Smash 4 kind of showed that Nintendo still had that spark, but was in a time of confusion, drifting away from their home console and focusing on their handheld, for better or worse. Finally, we come to Ultimate, which is a bit of a new Nintendo, sleeker, more modern, and more willing to listen to fans, and, dare I say, they're more willing to, think big. Also, turns out I was wrong. Sakurai does not have a grudge against Etika's microphone. He has a grudge against his goddamn shelf. And his actual physical heart.
My heart!
Yeah, your heart? You almost had a heart attack!